Buongiorno, Lisa and Anna. We're here in Novello, which is one of the Barolo villages in Piemonte. But Novello is not only known for Barolo, it's also known for its snails. Thanks to Paolo. Forgive us, but we had a little technical problem, so we have to do a vertical screen. We hope it's not a problem for you. This is Paolo.
Nice to meet you.
Great.
There we go.
Buongiorno. Buongiorno.
Paolo is very enthusiastic about snails.
Molto.
Hai sempre lavorato?
Sì, 20 anni. 20 anni ho lavorato. 20 anni ho lavorato in una grande azienda e ho deciso di creare un prodotto di nicchia.
And he wanted to create his own little niche product with a very small snail farm, his personal snail farm at his home. So thank you for having us at your home.
I'm going to pan.
Grazie a voi di essere venuti.
So we are going to go have a look at his snails, so follow us. So we are really interested in your opinions about snails too. Have you ever eaten escargot? Do you think it's gross? Do you love snails? Are you open to trying them? Please let us know.
Are they simply garden pests?
Fanno male ai giardini delle persone normali. Andiamo piano piano.
This is slow food because we're dealing with snails, right?
Tutto slow.
Queste sono lumache.
So he's saying his snail pen, as Lisa called it, is down here. It's all out in the open, all in the outdoors. And then they bring all this year's snails. You can see in these crates. Come check out how big these snails are.
I thought they're
It's
gigantic.
unbelievable.
They're beautiful. They are beautiful snails.
Tutte le lumache sono scelte da me una per una secondo i calibri. Vengono selezionate, guardate che belle.
Paolo is choosing all of his snails individually. They're
Can I pick one
gigantic.
up? Look how big this snail is.
Come si chiama il cane? Miba. Whoopala.
Can you see?
Slippery.
Questo è un prodotto eccezionale.
Saying
Hanno
that-
mangiato solo verdura e frutta di stagione che abbiamo. Traduci o?
See, so he treats these snails with utmost care. He only feeds them seasonal fruits and vegetables.
Ok, quindi cavolo, insalate, bietola, carciofi, girasoli vengono piantati.
So when they finish eating whatever is in their pen, they eat all kinds of other supplementary foods like artichokes, sunflowers, and
Carote,
Carrots,
artichokes,
cabbage.
cabbage. Ad agosto diamo la frutta in modo tale da rendere la carne morbida e succosa e fragrante.
Paolo has done a lot of experimentation on how to get the meat, the flesh, to be as tasty as possible and the right texture, because with snails, I think a lot of the problem for people is the texture of it, and he doesn't like them to be chewy and gummy.
Yeah.
And what he's saying is really interesting, because he's saying that in the summertime, they prefer to feed them fruit. So pears and apples and
Apples,
Peaches?
uva, pesche,
grapes.
meloni, angurie, c'è il
E
sito.
cosa fa questa la carne?
Rende la carne più morbida e succosa.
Okay, so right before they are butchered, in a way, they give them fruit right before that, so that they're
More tender.
more tender, exactly, and more fragrant. He
Sì.
said. So it's an unbelievable world of snails that you would have never have thought.
Hanno un buon valore di proteine, il 12%.
Oh.
0, poco grasso, 0,8% di grassi, praticamente quasi nullo il grasso che c'è proprio nella carne di lumaca, e pochissimi carboidrati, e questo fa sì che la carne di lumaca sia molto simile come nutrizione, nutrizionalmente, al pesce d'acqua dolce.
Okay. So all of you out there on a diet, or who need to go on lockdown diets like us, this is giving you 14% protein. How much?
12.
12.
Infatti questa carne qua è indicata per chi soffre di colesterolemia o glicemia, perché ha un basso contenuto di grassi e non ha carboidrati.
Okay.
Ricca di sali minerali,
Okay, so rich of
magnesio,
minerals.
magnesio e calcio sono abbondanti
Wow.
nella sua... No, ma è
Ok.
un prodotto eccezionale questo qua.
Calcium.
Calcio e magnesio,
Magnesium.
oltre a ferro e rame.
Mhm.
Ha degli aminoacidi che sono molto importanti e concorrono a una sana e corretta alimentazione.
Okay.
Questi aminoacidi che sono veramente pregiati.
These amino acids that this
Contenuti nella carne.
He is coming out.
He's not so shy anymore.
You stop scaring him.
Look.
He's coming out of his shell.
Hanno fatto il trattamento qua.
I don't
Questo è il trattamento.
Si fa così?
Alantoina pura.
So you can put it right on your skin as a beauty treatment.
I don't like to eat them, but I can definitely deal with this.
Yeah.
So I would say, if there's some people watching, we know this is not an ideal hour for most of you.
We have Leslie, Mary, Maria,
Okay. Does anyone have any
Domenico, and
questions?
Fiorella.
Can you tell us if
Jorge.
you've eaten snails before? Do you like snails? We'll see what people say if they would try one.
Are there predators? Ci sono i predatori alle lumache?
No. Hanno qualche predatore, ma uccelli così, ma qua non
Birds.
qua a casa non hanno predatori.
There's nothing that's coming and really
No.
feeding them,
No,
feeding
no,
off
no,
of
no,
them,
no.
I should say. That's a
Just
good question.
Yeah.
That we are the predators.
Sono bellissime, Anna,
Sì,
guarda che
sì,
belle.
bellissime sono.
Sono meravigliose queste lumache. La raccolta viene fatta interamente a mano e questa è la zona di spurgatura. Vale a dire loro qua si liberano l'intestino per
Ok.
essere poi pronte per essere macellate.
Ok.
Devono stare una settimana così, in queste
Ok.
casse qua e loro si liberano l'intestino, vedi, sempre sotto.
They're unloading
vedi,
their
queste
intestines.
sono,
Ah,
vedi, perché
so-
solo così puoi macellare.
It's snail poop.
Yeah. Ma
Excrement.
è molto importante perché
È un buon concime?
Un buon concime,
It's a
infatti
good
nei racconti
fertilizer.
non diamo niente, solo quello. Ed è ottima questa cosa qua perché pulisce completamente la lumaca, se no quando vai a mangiarla trovi ancora delle... e non va bene. La lumaca deve essere perfettamente spurgata.
he's a perfectionist when it comes to snails, so it's kind of like when you eat shrimp, you don't want to find that.
You don't want to
inside.
find the vein,
The
exactly.
vein. So what he does is he has to leave these here for 1 week and just naturally kind of clean
Yeah.
themselves.
Senza mettere niente, una volta si usava mettere il sale, queste cose qua, la segatura, no, tutto
Ok.
naturale. Le lasciamo qua, loro muovono, girano, si aprono di
Ok.
notte.
So they, some maybe bigger companies or breeders, they might use some substances like salt or other methods to get them to get rid of that faster. But here we're slow and he lets it happen naturally. So now he's going to show us where they live and maybe some of the, well, we have to cover these.
Yeah.
We don't want them to escape. Scappano. Oh, ce ne sono sotto, sì.
3 minutes we have snails everywhere.
Okay.
And they're slow, but maybe we don't want to catch 1,000 snails.
Here. Sposta questo io.
Hazelnut Farm, just over here. Questo è tuo terreno anche?
No.
Le nocciole, no? And he's got the snail pens, and he's got this beautiful, beautiful garden. This house up on the hill there.
Qua sono piantate l'alimentazione supplementare per le nostre lumachine, quindi cavoli, broccoli, carciofi.
So you see this, his vegetable garden is actually not for his own consumption, but for the snail consumption. You see the cabbage down below. Another thing that makes him unique that Paolo told me before, in this area, especially the older generations and especially men, I think love to eat snails. But the hard thing is that for chefs, he likes to focus on high-end gourmet food, and so he cleans them all. They butcher them and they clean them, and so they're ready to go. They're pre-cooked, so it's very easy for restaurants to use them. And that's always the problem. Why you don't find snails so much on the menus here is because it doesn't make sense for them to clean them all out one by
Il lavoro è
one. So
lunghissimo.
he sells them actually in jars, already pre-made and ready.
Sì, grazie a questo prodotto si può tornare a avere un consumo E questo è...
Here we go.
More snails on the...
Ah, snails, everywhere.
Everywhere.
Oh my god, my kids go crazy
Oh my
here.
goodness.
No, ma ce ne sono. Sì.
E queste
Io ho già
piante?
tolto, questi sono cavoli, era tutto seminato a cavolo, ma alto
Wow.
così, e loro hanno mangiato tutto.
Look at them. So this is the snail patch. Once they're out of there, they're not purging themselves right now. They're just sitting there eating. If you can see them on the backs of the leaves here, and on the back of that board, it was just covered with snails. Can you? Thank you.
There we are.
Aw.
And he said this whole patch was full of big cabbage plants, and now you can see what the snails have done to them.
They've done a good job of eating. Look, and oh, there's a baby. There's a big one and a little one. And it looks like he's in the process of pooping too. Very exciting. There's a little
Definitely a good way to
excrement.
take your mind off of
All the other stuff that's going on.
that's going on in the world right now.
So they're resting on the net here during the day. He says, and then at night they feed. So there are a whole bunch of them just resting on this net.
Oh, ma poco per sì, uno per una, perché tutte calibrate vanno. Cioè io non prendo queste, vedi, queste qua sono piccoline, vanno messe poi sotto nella serra per passare l'inverno.
So how long does it take from birth to harvest?
Vedi, queste qua, invece queste, guarda, questo è il calibro che uso io, a differenza.
Dalla nascita fino alla fine, quanti?
8 mesi, 8-9 mesi.
8 months. Okay, so he's saying 50 of them he'll keep set apart, or 50 kilos.
E sono piccolissime.
Those are to make the new babies for the next year.
E fanno le uova. They make eggs, they lay eggs.
That's so weird.
Yeah, 70, 100 eggs for one.
70 to 100 eggs for each snail.
Each snail, yeah.
Wow.
And he said he hand picks off he calibrates them.
Yeah.
So he only chooses the biggest
Snails.
I keep wanting to call them mushrooms for some
It's the shell. Oh,
So
look,
you can
the cat's
imagine-
gone to play with the snails.
Yeah.
how long it takes for him to pick all these.
Ed è lunga la raccolta, perché si tirano su tutti gli assi, prendono solo quelle che interessa al caldo, ma per fare un prodotto così devi per forza fare quello.
So the way that he prepares these snails for cooking, he wants them all to be the same size, because then you get the slimy, soft ones that are, the bigger ones, and the hard, gummy ones are the little. So that's why he does it. Okay, should we move up? And okay,
Nice.
and Paolo, how many times a week do you eat snails?
3 times.
3 times a week?
Ma la carne è pregiata, fa benissimo quella carne lì.
How do you eat
Well,
them?
look at-
What's your
look at
favorite
how-
recipe?
Spiedino, I don't know the name.
A skewer,
Lo
on a
spiedino.
skewer, like a barbecue snail.
Con
Sul
quella
barbecue? Sulle
anche
braccia?
sul barbecue puoi metterlo.
Sì?
Quella naturale,
Sì.
sciacqui le lumache dal barattolo e avvolgi attorno a ogni lumaca lardo, salvia, e fai lo spiedino, e poi
yum.
essendo già precotta, pam.
So he wraps each one in lard with a little bit
Which
of
isn't
sage.
lard per se, like the Americans know lard, but
Sage,
lardo is
pepper,
sliced
onions.
Or you could do
And
like
then-
pancetta
Yeah.
or something like that.
with
Sono
sage.
buonissime con il jambon iberico, con questi prosciutti qua, sono
Says
eccezionali.
it's really good with the Iberian ham. Jorge.
Jorge. Yeah. And also a couple weeks ago, I saw that they put them on a pizza.
Yeah, ma
I've seen that
beautiful,
before, actually.
ma beautiful pizza, Italian pizza
Yeah, with snails?
Beautiful.
Mm.
No.
It's
Beh,
better than Canadian bacon and pineapple.
But
Yeah.
look at how shapy and how skinny he is.
Yeah.
So we should all try to eat them 3 times a week. And see
E con la
what happens.
pasta?
Anche.
In pasta sauce? Tagliatelle with
sì.
snails?
Tagliatelle with snails, sono buonissime. Sono,
Also
sì.
pomodoro.
Pomodoro,
Tomatoes.
peperoncino, fritte.
Sì.
Ha una versatilità,
Fried.
fritte, fried with onions, with the ring
Anything is good
onions,
fried, but
yeah.
all right. So we're gonna take you guys up
To the
there
house?
so you can actually see the final product and let us know what you think, if you're courageous to try snails or not.
Nobody said here if they've eaten snails before. Oh, ate them in Mont Saint Michel. Mary, thank you. They are really good. Using face masks, had them in France before. Good, okay. So many people. This is our relationship with France.
In Francia l'hanno
Leslie's going to try them
Sì,
again.
Francia sì,
no.
Italia no.
Perché?
La Francia è da tanto tempo che usano le lumache loro, nella loro alimentazione
E da
proprio.
noi no.
E
Ma
senti,
questo è un alimento veramente un alimento del futuro per un mucchio di motivi. L'allevamento ha zero impatto ambientale.
So
Niente.
you can see he like believes in this food because it has zero impact.
Sì, ma
the
nell'ambiente
environment
non ci
and
sono gas
no
le
gas,
stalle.
nothing, no space.
e c'è qualche malattia che può
No,
colpire?
no.
Saying that there's no
Solo la cura.
diseases that really can
No,
attack your snails.
no, non ci sono malattie. Ci sono dei parassiti, ma se con la cura
Parasites.
ma con la cura e la pulizia, mantenere sempre tutto pulito. Quando mettiamo la frutta a mangiare, la frutta o le verdure che mettiamo fuori, da fuori nei recinti, bisogna mettere sugli assi e accertarsi che loro mangino tutto, perché se no marcisce e quello può
Okay.
creare un problema.
So he's saying everything has to be really clean and then they won't have any problems, and that's why when they put the vegetables inside, they put just enough and they make sure that they eat it all, because if they
Yeah.
stay there and then they rot and go bad, that causes
Gastrointestinal problems,
Yes,
probably, just like it
and-
would with people.
exactly. So
E una volta
Food poisoning.
una storiella,
Ah,
mio
ok.
nonno
okay.
aveva dei problemi di ulcera,
Okay, so
e-
his grandfather had ulcers.
ma qua era usata,
Ok.
non era solo mio nonno, qua
Sì.
tutti i vecchi facevano quello. Spaccavano il guscio di una lumaca e la buttavano giù intera viva, e lei con la lantoina, che è questa famosa bava sua, di grande proprietà della lumaca, cuciva le ulcere.
Oh my God.
Wow. I think I've actually heard about that
Si
before.
muoveva ancora per pochi istanti prima che gli acidi gastrici del nostro corpo
Quindi era ancora un po' viva.
No, è viva.
Ah,
La devi
so
buttare
he's
giù
saying-
viva, senza guscio.
Ah.
Si leva il guscio,
So
viva,
like a slug.
Yeah.
e si butta giù, e lei, muovendosi ancora per pochi minuti, aveva questa proprietà
Sì,
di
sì.
cucire proprio le ulcere.
Ah. So he's saying like not only his grandfather but all of the older
Qua, in
generation in
in
this
queste
area,
zone.
when they'd have stomach
Ulcers.
issues or ulcers, they'd smash the shell, take it off, and then
Eat them
put
live.
it down
Ma
live,
the snails live.
full, swallow,
Full,
so that
yeah.
it was still alive.
Wow.
And that way it would kind of stitch up
Yeah.
naturally and
Yeah.
close these ulcers
In their stomachs.
in their
It was
stomachs,
healing.
and it was healing.
In
So-
quanto quella proprietà lì è il miglior cicatrizzante che c'è in natura e di sintesi anche.
It heals
Non
scar
c'è-
tissue.
Yeah.
Non c'è
Naturally,
cicatrizzante migliore di quello.
And even my own daughter, I know this also sounds weird. I was telling
syrup.
Lisa at lunch, at the pharmacies, they also sell the syrup for
Like cough syrup.
when little kids have
An
a lot of
expectorant.
phlegm, and it breaks up all of that if you have a cold. And
Yeah.
I think it really works.
No, really works.
Yeah.
Noi 10 anni fa, quando lavoravo per un'altra azienda, abbiamo fatto fare uno sciroppo provenienza Belgio che era per la tosse era validissimo.
Especially like when little kids, they can't take strong medicines.
Yeah.
It was a natural way of helping them. So many benefits. It's all due
Yeah.
to these their special serum, the bava.
The baba, exactly. The snail slime.
Yeah. Snail slime.
So we have Fran watching. Ciao, Fran.
Ciao, Fran.
Ciao, Fran.
Fran
And
is in
Franca,
Spain. We have Spain
Joyce,
and United States.
Nicola Russo,
Okay.
Gianluca Bertolino,
Hi,
snail
guys.
sushi. See, snail sushi with curing properties.
Ooh,
But you
snail
have to
sushi.
keep-
That's
you have to cook.
I know.
You cannot eat the snails without.
We must cook them, but you
Yeah.
can have cooked
For the
snail
flavor,
sushi.
cioè per il sapore, per quello devi farla cuocere.
Okay.
lumata.
So to have good flavor, you need to cook them. For the healing properties, you eat them
Yeah.
raw.
Exactly.
Non avrai detto di me.
also for the skin.
Yeah, ma now we.
Yeah, but now, so Paolo, I don't know if I mentioned this already. They're developing skincare products, beauty products, which they're not out with yet, but they're developing them now, so should be out in
In a
about.
week. In
in
a
a
week
week.
we have.
1 week.
Yeah. Adesso ti
Okay.
stacchi.
No, it's
Allora
live.
cosa faccio? Allora aspetti.
È tutto vivo.
Prodotti.
It's okay, it's fine.
We can answer questions if anyone has any
Yeah,
while
we
he's
can use this
unpacking
as a-
his.
Question and answer time.
I'm trying to remember the last time I ate snails. It's been a long time, but it was here in the Langhe, in a restaurant near La Mora, in pasta.
Okay.
It was with a tomato sauce.
Maybe in Carrasco where they're famous for the snails, but
It was probably near there. It was so long ago.
so he told me last time that some chefs put them in the risotto.
Yeah,
Ooh, that would
On
be
the top
in a
of
delicious.
the
club di
risotto.
Alba risotto.
Ma fritti, croccanti,
No, in umido.
in umido.
In umido.
So, like braised
Guarda che
snails.
belle. Cioè,
Look at
ragazzi,
these.
Wow.
Questo
Okay.
è. Io
Can
sono
you zoom?
io sono veramente perfezionista,
this
però
So it says
queste sono le lumache dentro sono tutte calibrate in polpa 5-7 perché si chiama così, è la polpa più pregiata che c'è in questo ambito
Okay.
qua.
so it's just the pulp. And here
Chiocciole, perché sono chiocciole al
It's a hard
naturale,
word to say. Chiocciole.
al naturale, pulite e precotte.
So chiocciole is another way of saying snail.
Yeah.
Chiocciole would be, these are the plain ones, cleaned and pre-cooked. So
Yeah.
the ingredients here is just
Yeah.
snail
No.
pulp,
Water and salt. No, non ci sono conservanti, non c'è niente. Sono 20 anni che guardiamo cioè, sono
E quanto
degli
si
ultimi-
conservano così? How
un
long
anno
do
e
they stay?
mezzo, un
For a
anno e
year and
mezzo,
a
2.
half in a jar like this. That's amazing.
Sono tutte calibrate, guarda, ma poi le vedi da qua. E queste invece sono quelle al verde. Queste che sono state...
So verde usually means with parsley and garlic.
Ok, parsley garlic you have just to open and to cook ma for 2 minutes. Only solo scaldare.
Okay.
Lo fai solo
So they just get
scaldare e
warmed
sono
up.
pronte, sono quelle che hai assaggiato
Sì, sì,
tu,
sì.
Anna. Ecco.
See, I actually tasted them last time. You can look back on my Instagram account, but
Which is amazing because Anna's a vegetarian.
I don't eat meat. But I thought, oh my God, how can I listen to this guy and not taste them? So and I have to admit, they weren't bad.
Ci sono 44-48 lumache dentro, in tutti i barattoli, sempre uguale.
See, so he has about 40 snails in there. And if you think about how often would you go out and buy an actual live snail and clean them all out? But if they're already prepared like this, he wants to spread the word in the world that this is something that we
It's
need
the
to
food of the
yeah,
future.
we need
It's
to
a food of the past and it's a
experiment.
Yeah.
food of the future.
with it. So
Fran says in Spain they eat them in a rabbit stew con coniglio.
mangiano
pensa te.
in un stufato di coniglio.
Sì.
Sì.
We're also
Sì.
feeling really lucky because this is the last day that we have here in Piemonte. We're considered a red zone. So thank God that we did the live today because tomorrow we probably wouldn't have been able to come out here and do this. So it's also definitely going to affect Paolo's business because he sells mostly to restaurants. Vendi principalmente ai
Sì, ristoranti.
And all restaurants and bars are closing down tomorrow.
Sì.
So
Intercretto.
last night was really, we were all really nervous because we had the U.S. elections and our new restrictions were coming out. And so this was a nice way to escape and come here to Paolo,
Yes, nice.
out in the nature and taste some snails. Hai qualcosa da assaggiare?
Sì, lo faccio, certo, vuoi
Okay.
assaggiare?
Anche io ho usato una volta che mi è piaciuto
Here,
molto.
I can switch.
I
They
get to
can look
eat.
at you. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna switch it over to Lisa. So, al naturale or il
No,
verde?
l'assaggio al verde.
Sì.
Devo farlo al
You have
verde.
to be really hardcore to eat the naturale. Hardcore.
Everything's good with garlic and parsley.
No, il naturale non è hardcore, figurati, il
No?
naturale sono morbidissime.
Sì.
Puoi fare quello che vuoi con quelli lì al naturale.
Okay, Lisa, everyone's pressuring you.
Wait.
You have to try them.
Am I getting a...
See, Fran, he's saying, Lisa, you have to try them too, no?
But I'm going to try them, but I want them to warm up a little bit. Un po' più caldo, no? Giusto?
Slow.
Food today.
Yeah, slow food today.
They look,
Young
actually, they
life.
smell wonderful.
They smell, yeah.
They do smell wonderful.
I wonder if you could
Oil.
compare them to, I mean, I normally don't eat meat. His wife also doesn't eat meat, but it's more like seafood, like a clam
Like a clam, yeah. Or an oyster. Well, probably texture-wise, more like a clam, I would say.
Ooh, we got a snail lover. Erica O'Grady loves snails. Excellent.
Okay, I'll eat one
Okay,
for you too.
I think you should shake up the, there we go.
Make sure they don't burn.
This
I
could
love
be an
this.
idea for one of your cooking shows.
Actually, yeah, we
To
could
do a-
snails.
The thing is, I don't know for you guys how easy it is to find snails where you're
I
at.
have lots of them in my garden, but I don't think they're the same quality.
È abbastanza.
Velocissima. That was so
Velocissima.
fast.
Velocissima.
It's fast food too. Slow food.
Slow
fast food.
and fast, you're right.
That's the beauty about canning.
Mm-hmm.
And he's got these wonderful grissini.
Wonderful grissini, also integrali.
See?
Of course, natural whole wheat breadsticks. In Tardino, Piemonte, we're famous
Voila.
for breadsticks.
Absolutely.
Right. All right. We just had coffee and dessert, but we'll
go back to a little an aperitivo
Sì.
or
Vuoi assaggiare?
antipasto. Sì, assolutamente.
Insieme.
Insieme, vai.
Sì.
Here we
Ciao
go.
Thais.
Assaggerai. Is the first time for you?
No, ma dopo tanto tempo.
Okay.
Let's say it's not the first time, but oh my god, that is so good. That is so good. Però l'olio anche buonissimo.
Sì, è una.
It's
No,
a
ma
really
è
good
tutto.
quality oil.
È tutto.
The snails are so tender. Oh my god.
So that's a good point. He's saying, you know, obviously all the ingredients in these jars are really important. So you have to use really good extra virgin olive oil.
No, ma l'olio lì è buono.
No, ma è tutto benissimo. Certo.
There's also
Il prodotto qua è
garlic.
Garlic and
Yeah.
Aglio. Okay.
parsley, garlic.
Mm-hmm.
So we have another snail
Yeah.
fan here.
Oh my god, yeah, can I have another one?
Thank you. You
Wait,
can
who am I eating this one for?
For me.
This is for Anna, okay.
È croccante, ma è morbida.
Sì.
Cioè non è molle che si è e non è neanche di gomma.
It's not chewy. It's crunchy, but not crunchy like eating a grissino. But the texture's fantastic.
Does it have
It's
like
soft
a
and not
fishy kind of
No.
taste or no?
No, I really, the taste that stands out is the quality of the olive oil with the undertone of garlic and a little bit, you can really, it just absorbs the flavors that it's been cooked in.
Tutte le materie prime sono di altissima qualità e ripeto, una lumaca che ha mangiato solo, anche tutte le verdure fuori sono coltivate nella nostra azienda.
Cosa mangiano di cioè le lumache in altri posti più industriali? I'm asking what in other places, what snails eat, what they feed
Tanta
them.
gente dà tanto mangime.
Like feed,
Yeah.
Rabbit food, like a pellet.
Yeah.
pellets.
Like pellets, loro rimangono.
Che magari sono vegetali ma non sono proprio di ottima qualità.
Esatto. Questa è una piccola azienda che in questo modo possiamo prenderci cura veramente di questi animali che...
I mean, we're right in his backyard, so he's saying I can really take care of all of the
Hanno mangiato
food that
400
they
girasoli queste lumache qua.
They've eaten 400 sunflowers.
Yeah, 400 girasoli, 40 piante,
400
50 di carciofi.
They've eaten 400 sunflowers.
Yeah.
Lots and lots of artichokes.
Yeah.
I had another
Cabbage.
Excellent. Does anybody have any questions about how to eat them? Or maybe, Paolo, would you like to say something about the cosmetics?
Sì. Allora, come per il cibo, anche per la cosmetica vale un po' la stessa cosa. Cioè, le lumache, se hanno mangiato verdure, frutta di stagione, la bava di lumaca che vanno a fare ha delle proprietà che sono eccezionali, ma in laboratorio.
So if the snail has eaten good quality food, the slime that they give off has a different quality than those that have been fed other inferior products.
Sì, la bava di lumaca ha una composizione unica, non c'è nessun'altra sostanza né in natura o di sintesi che ha queste proprietà.
So there's no other product, neither natural nor synthesized, in the world that is like snail slime.
Yeah.
It is unique. Nobody's ever been able to recreate it.
So why isn't it something more popular? Perché non è più conosciuto? Allora perché non è più popolare?
Secondo me questo inizia, secondo me questo è il periodo in cui ha inizio. Cioè, questo qua è un periodo buono per questa...
See, so he's saying, I was asking why isn't it more popular? Why haven't people talked about this more? And he said, he believes in the future, in the very near future, that it will become popular.
This is the wave of the future.
Questo è l'inizio, la gente secondo me si è stufata di mettere delle cose dei prodotti che sono comunque chimici, troppo chimici, questa bava qua ha delle proprietà che sono eccezionali.
We're sick of using, we all know now, we
Certo.
want to stay away from chemical products and
Going back
be
to more
sustainable, be more natural. Yeah.
L'allantoina, che è l'ingrediente fondamentale.
Come si chiama?
Allantoina.
Allantoin.
Allantoin.
Is the
Allantoin.
base of snail
È la
slime.
base della bava di lumaca, è un antiossidante eccezionale, riparatore della pelle,
Great antioxidant properties to
cicatrizzante.
fix scars.
Sì. Inoltre la bava di lumaca ha la vitamina A, la vitamina C, la vitamina E.
All the
Una
different
serve
vitamins.
per il collagene, per mantenere
E, C.
compatto
A, E,
E,
C.
I
A,
might
E,
sì, sì.
We're talking about the vitamins.
Sì, poi peptidi che servono per mantenere la pelle non stressata e elevare le infezioni, acido glicolico, questo
That
è tutto
have an
all'interno.
anti-inflammatory, antibacterial effect.
Glycolic
Acid,
acid,
glycolic
che
acid.
serve per esfoliare, ha una delicata azione esfoliante sulla pelle.
So it's an exfoliant,
An
like a,
exfoliant, or
yeah.
it has a peeling property, basically. You
I
don't
want
need
one
acid.
of these.
E poi è ricca di collagene e elastina. Il collagene che
With collagen
viene
and elastin?
compatto, ma questo è tutto lei,
just,
senza
yeah,
altri
naturally.
e abbinata facendo questo prodotto in laboratorio con una dottoressa veramente che ha inventato, c'è ancora una cosa di l'estrazione, però vabbè, sì, scusate.
No, ma sono le zanzare.
Abbinata ad altri ingredienti che sono olio di jojoba, olio di macadamia, che sono tutte cose, e collagene marino.
Oil and jojoba oil.
Esatto, è uscito un prodotto veramente eccezionale, cioè il sieri, la bava pura, ha il 98% di bava di lumaca dentro, e quindi il 98%
98% of snail
serum.
slime,
e
the
gli altri
serum is
ingredienti
98% and 2% of the other
degli altri ingredienti,
ingredients.
Macadamia, yeah.
macadamia oil, jojoba oil, collagene marino, tutte cose
Marine
naturali,
collagen.
Non c'è un prodotto